Yeah. Bring the bass like. Ooh, yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Menuhin's. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you are in the day, but what up? Thanks for coming back to the podcast. On this episode, I watched the Netflix special, Sticks and Stones, by the homie Dave Chappelle. On this ep, I got my homegirl Gina Brion. She chimed in on this conversation. I got my homegirl Christine Meehanberg. Me and her sat down and had a good talk. And I got the reigning champion, the homie, Philly O'Huff, straight out of London. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Oh, yes. Another smooth-ass beat with vocals on it. This is how it's going to be my walk into heaven. Like, what up, G? What up, God? I made it, yo. I was like, hey, yo, angels, yo, kick that beat for me real quick. Hey, yo, God, been living for a long time. Something, I've been there sitting in that grind. Doing freestyle raps for God. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Shout out to my people in New York City. Shouts out to my people in the ATL. Shouts out to my people in Philly. Shouts out to my people in Australia, the UK, Africa, North Carolina, California. My people out in Vegas. My people out in Russia. My people out in Nova Scotia, the Ukraine, China, Japan, South Korea. All right, let's go. Man, what up? How are you doing, huh? Thank you for clicking on the podcast. I appreciate you. Don't forget to go to iTunes, hit that 5-star, and make a review. Say some positive things about the podcast, trying to get these algorithms up, get these numbers up so I can start getting these sponsors and things. Talked about the special, Sticks and Stones. And people are losing their fucking minds about this shit. Oh my God, you got people over here saying, it's the greatest special ever. It's the best thing in comedy to ever hit since sliced bread. And then you got people saying, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe he said those things. Who does he think he gets to talk about? People losing their freaking minds. It's just so annoying. My God, everybody is so woke. Go to sleep. Damn. Oh my God, I'm so woke. Shut up. People, man, I swear, annoying. Just appreciate some shit. This is what people keep saying. This whole thing was great. I mean, the most amazing thing ever. I'll say it. It was great. It was a great special. Was it amazing or anything no, it's not anything that's groundbreaking. He's saying what's supposed to be said as a comedian. That's what we do. We're supposed to hit the edge and say things people are not gonna say or people don't want to say. We say things out of pocket. That's what you go to comedy for, to hear that type of shit. And the thing is, people forget that because everybody in the entertainment industry is walking on eggshells. Everybody's so scared to say anything or to tweet anything because everybody has a freaking blog or something and they'll try to crush their career. You got these groups forming like Voltron, just trying to, we gotta shut his career down. And it's like, that's why nobody says shit. And that's why when we have one person that rises up and says, you know what, fuck this, I'ma say this and that, and this is how I feel, everyone's like, oh my God, he's a rebel. It's revolutionary. No, it's not. It's regular. That's what we're supposed to be doing. It's hard to. I mean, it's even hard for me as a comic. I'll be writing stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I should say this. Because I don't have zero fucks money yet. I don't have zero fucks industry clout. Because that's what Dave Chappelle got. Dave Chappelle has zero fucks industry clout. He can do whatever he wants. The people love him. People people forget that. People say, oh, everyone was offended. Hey, I can't believe he... Look, people in the room. He had a whole theater of people that he's talking to that are laughing. He crafted these jokes with laughter to get it to that stage. He didn't just show up and be like, you know what? I'm just going to say all these things and let's see if it works. Maybe some things. But the majority of everything he said was very well crafted, very well done, and it's not anything amazing. This is what we're supposed to do as artists. Writers, you know what? I also have noticed that in movies. Like, I'll watch certain movies, and I see that they'll just suddenly plug in something just to not offend somebody. It's like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like it's supposed to be in the movie. That doesn't match up. It's just people cleaning shit up. Writers of movies are changing. There's some writers that just don't give a shit at all, and we respect those people, and we love those cats because they don't give a fuck. They just put out what they feel, and they just whatever the consequence is, like, just go with it. Let's go with it. So it's just annoying. It's like he said some things that you probably don't agree with, but other people are laughing at. So, hey man, I recommend you watch it. It's funny. I watched it 3 times. First time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is funny. Second time I watched it, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, I see what's going on here. And then the third time I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is classic. I like this. So, but that's just me as a comic. I'm looking at it like a ex NFL player looking at playbooks and stuff like that. I always analyze it from that perspective because I'm in the industry. But I feel like people would appreciate his honesty. It's just him. And also, he was goofy as shit. He said some goofy shit in his special that you're like, what? And the thing is, people are always like, I just appreciate that he was a goofball in some senses of it. And then some parts of it, he was like serious about some things. And in some parts of it, he had, he went all over the place with it. But I feel like he had an overall good point to what he was saying in a lot of things. Like, he would say something, but then he had the information to back it up and to soften it. He softened things a little bit. But a lot of this stuff, it was like raw. So, this episode, I got a lot of people on it. Not really a lot of people. It's just 1, 2, 3, like 3 people. But it's a long episode. I got my homie Filio Huff on the pod. He's out in London, freaking working his ass off. He has 2 specials on Amazon. Check those out. I got my homegirl Gina Bree on. She's on there on his pod. She dropped a few words about the special, and she has a special on HBO, so check her out. She's funny as hell. And I got my homegirl Christine Niehanberg. Me and her sat down and had a conversation about the special. She had a few points, and her husband, he stepped in at the last minute. He dropped a few things about it. Aaron Berg, appreciate him for jumping on, saying a few things. And let's get right into it. All right. Yo, hold up. Wait, before it started, my homie Love Agarwal, a.k.a. Brooklyn Santa, on IG, he hit me with his thoughts. All late as shit. No, I forgot. God damn. Anyway, see, this is what happened. The people that you heard that I just announced, like Gina, Christine, and Filio, I asked a lot of people. These are the folks that came through. Everybody else don't know what the fuck happened, but my homie Love came in last minute. So I'm going to mix his in as well. So I didn't say his name in the intro or in that last clip, but he'll be on here too. So look for that. I'm going to mix and mash it up. My homegirl, Gina.
So I saw the new Dave Chappelle special. Not once, not twice, but like 3 times. Possibly even 4. I loved it. First of all, always been a fan. I particularly loved the stuff about, the sensitive culture and what he went after, because I think a lot of what he was saying, first of all, was, in my opinion, purposefully argumentative, I guess you could say, or I want to say contentious, but I don't think it was meant in such a threatening way. But I think it was meant to poke the beast. Everything he said was meant to incite people, and it's brilliant on so many levels for that reason. I think he fully went in knowing he was going to get backlash. I think he fully went in knowing that what he was saying was going to cause a problem. and was prepared to deal with the circumstances or of what was going to come after that. And I mean, he's the GOAT for so many reasons, but if you give him nothing, even for the people that hated the special, you have to give him bravery to stand firm in what he believes. And I think that is really important. That's pretty much my feeling on it. I will watch it again. I find it inspiring. I think it's amazing, and I totally get why people would be upset. But I think it's absolutely brilliant in what he was trying to achieve, and what he actually did achieve it's just amazing. And that's my thoughts on Dave Chappelle. His latest special, Sticks and Stones.
Is that the right distance? Do you want it close? You want it down in my mouth?
No. That's cool.
Can you put it in my garganta? What's that? The throat? Garganta. In garganta.
Could you put it in my
throat? I should do something named garganta. Garganta.
That'd be a dope album name. Garganta. And now Christine Menuhin and Garganta. Garganta. That'd be dope. Is this a part of your throat for real?
Just
Garganta.
La garganta. Yeah.
Garganta. I've never heard of garganta.
With a T though, garganta.
So garganta.
Garganta.
You said the T with a
Like a not
ta.
like it's not ta. It's garganta.
It's like
a D and a T together.
So it's like when my uncle used to surprise you. He was like, "Ah!" He like, where'd he come from? All right. Okay, let's make sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Menuhin's Movie Pass. I have a special guest in the building. One of my best friends on earth.
I did my kid's surprise face.
They can't see that.
I was trying to be silent, and I can't be.
My homie Christine Menuhin.
Hello.
What up? We're gonna talk about this Sticks and Stones Dave Chappelle situation. And let me just start off by saying this. I asked some other folks just to kind of throw in like rants because I was gonna add it in or whatever. And I'm not gonna name anyone, but some folks are like, I don't wanna participate in the I wanna hold on, I don't wanna say anything.
Because people are scared.
Yes, very scared. People are so scared to express their opinion.
Or they're not. Or they're the opposite. Or they've got these just mangled opinions, or because like they're coming from this.
Dude, nobody knows you.
Nobody cares.
Who gives a
also,
fuck?
nobody cares about me either.
Nobody cares about this podcast. I think I got like 10 listeners. Who gives a fuck?
So that's why you have me on. Because nobody cares what I say.
Nobody cares about any of us.
It doesn't.
Until we fucking blow and do some crazy shit. I do a movie with The Rock. But even that, they still don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter. Also, like our opinions of his art don't really matter. I mean, we have a conversation about it, but he doesn't care.
Oh, Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
See, Dave Chappelle is above all of this now.
He's
way
Dave
above. Chappelle is above the networks. He's above the media. They can say whatever he wants. He's above gays, trans, anyone.
He went and got lost in Africa and came back.
And then came back.
Bitch came back.
A new person with
So
muscles.
You really think he's worried about your blog post about how his Sticks and Stones special was offensive or I don't know, too far removed, and maybe because he's middle-aged and he's not understood anymore, he's not in a power position. I mean, I read one blog and it said that, and I was like, well, what? Why do you even think that it matters? Like, you're so dumb saying these little bits and pieces. It blows my mind.
You know what? I think it's with the people that I'm talking about, like asking people to jump on the pod or whatever, I don't think they're worried about what Dave thinks. I think they're worried about what other people think about what they think about Dave's special.
Right.
So they start talking, and they're like, oh, well, I think that he was right. It's like, oh, no, the gay people. One person told me, I want to be able to have health insurance later on.
That's what they... Oh, I want to have health insurance?
I was like...
That was their excuse for not talking about it?
I was like, come on, man. I was like...
You could buy your own health insurance.
I was like, all right.
They want health insurance from a job?
Yeah. I was like, all right, man. You don't have to do the F. It's cool. But it's just like...
I want to know that. Can you tell me when we turn this off?
I'll tell you later. That's my homie. I wouldn't put him out there like that. But it's just like... It's just stuff like that annoys the shit out of me because it's like... People claim to be outspoken. They claim to be rebels. They claim to be this. They claim to be that. A lot of folks claim to be that, but then when you put them in the seat, like, yo, just talk about it real quick. Then it's like, oh, I don't.
Also, I think those posts and blogs and think pieces on things like this it's like claiming more relevancy than they really have. Mm-hmm. Right? They're like, oh, my opinion of this thing that I've seen makes me have a voice. It's like it doesn't give you a voice because you have an opinion on something.
But see, the internet now is giving people too much power. People are getting too much power, and that's why people like my homie scared because it's like they would like just looking on the other side of the coin. Later on, look at Kevin Hart, for example.
And Chappelle talks about it.
He did, yeah, I'm saying he did a tweet years ago. Just, Twitter is like I used to say this on stage. Twitter's like the Grand Canyon. You just be throwing shit out because, and when you're trying to get people to listen to you, nobody's hearing you. So you just like the Grand Canyon shouting shit. Man, I like sandwiches. And nobody says anything. And you go back home, you come back out, man, shoot, Sarah Palin, she could get it. Nothing? Okay, then you come back the next day, man, ketchup is weird. Somebody's like, yeah, ketchup is weird. It's like, oh shit, ketchup is weird. You start yelling back and forth. You just start saying shit to get somebody to say something.
Some kind of response.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. And then years later, when he's about to host the Oscars, it comes back. So, back to my homie, it's like, you never know where people are going to pop or we're going to end up. And then next thing you know, people are plucking shit from your past to attack you with it.
Gotta be honest, I'm glad that one ex-boyfriend died. Oh, but it's so true. He's dead now.
Well, because you can't bring up stuff from the past.
Yes, because that was like being with him was the worst moment of my life. I did terrible things.
Died. Was it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Menuhin knows all my exes.
No, I know one.
You know one?
I know
all
one.
of them.
I was like, wait a minute.
Before I came to New York, that one.
I said, did so and so?
No.
So I'm supposed to be on a show.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah. So we're gonna get. All right. Let's.
So Sticks and Stones. Everybody is freaking up in arms about it. Everybody's going crazy about this shit. I mean, I think it was a great special. I mean, I think it's because I've seen so many specials on Netflix and they're cool, but nobody's pushing boundaries. Nobody's talking about stuff everyone is going through, or everything on Netflix that I feel stand-up wise is more generalized and just like, oh, this is me. Like, dudes are pussies. I don't know what happened. All the dudes, it's like, oh man, my wife does this, and I'm so scared, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, where's your balls, man?
Cuckolded? You said everybody's a cuckold?
Yeah, I guess I'm saying it's a cuckold, but then I don't know. It's just it was refreshing to see this on Netflix or just this type of stand-up because he's
to grab his cojones in a sense.
What are we doing right now?
He like in a sense he has a pair
old
of balls
Batman
up there. Also, I think like the most impactful thing about the special was the fact that he was walking up and down 2 steps the entire thing. I was like, he can walk up and down steps while thinking a thought and speaking.
Lot of movement. I was like,
so much movement.
I said, he's moving around a lot.
Yeah. He'd like run up the steps and come back down.
He almost ran backstage a few times.
I know.
And then came back. I was like, so that jumpsuit is comfortable.
Oh, when the phone rang and he was like, "Mom died." Oh, magic.
Yeah.
They could have cut that out, like, you know?
I was thinking that. I was
He
like, they
could
could
have
have
been
cut
angry.
that moment out. But I was like, he left that just to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm still gonna freaking, I'm still dope. He's like, it's like his phone was gay.
Brought it right back to the bit.
Yeah.
What else do you? Okay, so I just know that I'm super professional right now, but like, what my question was, like, what do you want him to do? What would make people more comfortable? Like, is it his job to say what you want him to say, the way that you want him to say it? Like, how has that become a theme in comedy? Not necessarily like us on stage, but after the fact. Like, having an opinion, or like, what did people want him to talk about? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, that shouldn't be a question. That shouldn't be something that people are controlling. It's art. It's creative thought. As a comedian, what we do is we go out there and we observe life and we bring it back and we make it funny, or we put it back out to the people. So it's like, if you came for a like he even said in his special, he was like, look, remember, y'all clicked on my face, whoever's sitting down watching. It's like, why would you try to control that?
Yeah.
That's the point of comedy.
And he said in the special, you know, the worst thing about what this is you. And he pointed to the audience and said, you're the problem.
Oh, yes. Oh,
And that was
you talking about the impression?
No.
No, later on.
He talks about how, like, the worst thing of everything is the audience. Like, they get to, this is not what I like, or like, he pointed it out. And so people are bothered by that, because he said exactly what everyone else is thinking.
And every other comic is thinking. We're like, dude, you want us to come up here and be funny, but you want to control it. You know, if you want that, people who are listening, if you want comedy, if you don't agree with what we're saying, which you probably don't, I don't know what the fuck, but if you want that type of comedy, go hire a comedian. You can do that. You can hire a comedian for an event and tell them exactly what you want them to talk about.
Clear their jokes.
Yeah, and clear the jokes like you're freaking working on Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
But, you know, it's like if you want to do that.
Just watch Late Night. Just watch Late Night.
Just watch Late Night. That is
won't be
pure,
that edgy.
clean jokery. But it's like, if you come to a comedy club, prepare for some wild shit. And people go home and blog about you, and that happens to us on this level. Like, people will go, like, if I go to whatever comedy club and somebody's like, oh, Menuhin talked about blah, I didn't like it. They'll go on Yelp and talk shit, and then next, maybe some people won't get booked again, or some clubs don't do that. Or some clubs like, fuck you, put them back on stage.
They like the controversy.
Yeah, they like that because it builds up their algorithm.
Right.
But it's like, it's just amazing to me. Like, people don't know what they want. So when they get some wild shit, like, oh, I don't want it. Then when they get some watered down shit, oh, they're not funny. Comedy is losing its spice. Motherfucker, what do you?
And everybody, everybody's so too woke. Like, it's the wokeness.
Yes.
I'm not. So I was put on
like
a list.
Adderall wokeness. Adderall level. I'm awake. Black coffee, sipping.
Bitter black coffee.
Bitter black coffee woke. And that's not a jab on just black people. That's a jab on everybody.
Everybody's
so-called
too woke. Yeah. Woke is, you're afraid of saying anything that could be controversial.
That goes against the grain.
I want to do all the things that are controversial. I don't want people to be comfortable. I really don't give a shit if people like me.
They're not supposed to be. People are not supposed to be too comfortable at a comedy show. They're like Patrice, he would say, I'm gonna butcher his statement, but he's saying, like, there's certain section of people that are supposed to like you and love you. Then there's some people that are just kind of like, I don't really feel him. And some people are just kind of confused. It's supposed to have that balance, because that brings a good energy into the room. Everyone's not supposed to love you. If they do, you may not be doing it right.
Okay, so to go back to the special, it would be one thing if there weren't laughs.
Exactly.
So many different kinds of people in that room.
People forget that shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how people pluck that out. Like, Bill Burr say something wild on stage, and then people in the room are laughing. But then and then they'll take that.
It's not funny.
He said
people thought it was.
There's controversy. And it apparently was, because as comedians, if it's not funny, we do a joke a few times in a few different areas. And if it's not funny, we take it out and put it in a sketch, or we just kill the joke. But if it makes it to a big stage like that means the motherfucker's funny.
He worked. He worked to get to. It's not like the special is in this little bubble of he did this one time.
Yeah.
This is a body of work that's been worked on and hashed out and crafted for a long period of time. I don't know how long, but long enough for it, like you said, to stay in. So quit your bitching and understand that this is his thought process. He's probably shredded it, taken it apart, and put it back together 100 times, at least thousands.
Yes.
So, anyway, I'm anti-woke.
It's just anti-woke.
Anti-woke.
Christine Meehan.
We have
album coming out June 2020.
My husband Aaron Berg has a T-shirt made anti-woke, and it looks like Diet Coke.
Word!
But he said he wore it once, and people were looking at, where can you wear it? People get really upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, people get weird about T-shirts. I have a Cosby T-shirt, but this is before the whole controversy happened, and it says Trill Bill, and Cosby has like a fitted hat on. It's like slanted. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is a dope hat. It's Cosby, Trill Bill.
Yeah.
I was wearing that shit, and then one day when that shit started going down, I put the shirt on, and I was like walking around, and people were just kind of looking at me weird, and there's just like this energy. I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't wear this.
You know how stupid that is?
Huh?
Right? You know how dumb that is? It's like it's a shirt.
Yeah, I know, but I felt the energy. I was like, should I? I was like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna wear it. But it's like, I don't know. Who's that chick from Bob's Burgers, the little daughter?
Yeah.
What else? What else you think about this?
So
special?
he comes out of the gate just like any great comic is going to come out of the gate with like probably, either they're going to punch him in the face, and he did. He came out the gate with Anthony. Just remember, Anthony Bourdain hung himself, and then he talks about his buddy that works at, what did he say? Not Modell's, but Foot Locker or something. And he's like, maybe you should have thought like that. I mean, if you start your special with suicide. If people are watching it and they're already upset by that, turn it off.
Yeah, man. He came out the gate with the uppercut.
He really did.
And then the impression is what made me. I almost knocked everything off the coffee table. The impression he was like,
when the Constitution.
No, well, I mean the Constitution joke is iffy for me because he kind of did that joke in one of his other specials.
And then it was a throwaway.
But it was a setup though. It was the alley-oop. Because he was like, I'm doing some impressions. It's a slave owner.
I'm not really good at them.
I'm not really good at them. He does it, and it's just like he's like, finish that Constitution, nigga. I'm tired or whatever.
Yeah.
He does that, and then he's like, this one's gonna be kind of hard for you to get. I don't know if you're gonna get this one. He's like, I'm gonna. Every time you do something, I don't care if it's 15 years from now, 20 years from now, I'm gonna ruin you. He's like doing all this shit, and he's like
infantilizing. Oh, there's a verb. He's infantilizing the judgment.
And then he's like, guess who that is? And if somebody said Trump,
you.
And he's like, that's
what
you.
I said. That's the greatest bet.
That is you.
He's mocking everyone.
I can't stand performing for you, motherfuckers.
Right. Oh God.
I was like, God. What? Jokes like that, I sit and watch this. I'm like, God damn it, that was right in my face the whole time. Why didn't I write that?
Why can't I? Because you think to yourself as a comic, I need to be better.
Yes.
I've gone on stage and been like, I hate all of you. Right? I mean, but it's not funny. I'm just like, you're all pieces of shit. But he did it in such a beautiful way that
and they were like, yeah, we are pieces of shit. They just kind of go,
yeah.
Oh man, it was so good. I was like, God damn. I was like, why did I think of that?
It's good. It's good. And so I watched it twice. This is what I wanted to say to you. Watched it twice. And the second time was for your podcast. And then I turned it on before you came in. Mm-hmm. And it was really just to analyze it to see if I'm truly the asshole to respect the craft of one of the great comedic minds. signs of our time. And like, I don't know if you wanted for me to do commentary on it because I'm a mom, or because I'm a white woman, or because I'm viciously offensive, or I'm anti-woke, or just because I'm still fighting for my own potential, or because I just have a friend that respects me.
I mean, I think it's just the last one. I just respect you as a friend.
I was like, oh, there could be all these things, right?
There's no element. I wasn't like, okay, let's see, Christine Menuhin, she's a comedian that's on the edge, she's white, she's a mother, and I was just like, this is my people's. I haven't had her on the pod like that, so fuck it, jump on. But I mean, those elements are great.
But then all those elements though, because it goes to like, he does that joke about that you can't use the word faggot, but you can use the N-word. He's like, bitch, I'm not the N-word, like that. That was.
He
see,
said
that's what it
faggot
is.
so aggressive.
He really did. But it's such a good word. And not to berate or belittle gay people. It's just a fun word to say. It's a strong word. It's got strong consonants. It's really fun to say.
You know, it is. I mean, it's like I used to say this on stage. I should bring this joke back, but it probably won't. I don't know. I wish we could say faggot again. Like, I miss saying faggot because as a kid, it didn't mean just a dude that liked having sex with another dude. It just meant you were the person that just didn't want to do the fun thing we wanted to do at the time. Like, hey man, let's dip our jeans in gasoline and light them on fire and see who puts it out faster. Man, I don't want to do that. Man, stop being a faggot.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what it was.
It has nothing to do with gay
sex. And the
sex.
thing is, it just means a bundle of sticks overseas, and it's a cigarette.
But see, language and linguistics is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So we've taken the meaning of a word and we've put power on that meaning of that word at a point in time.
Yeah.
By a subset of people.
Yeah.
And then given that subset of people with that connotation of the word, the power of the word. And that and that's what his special goes through. Like, that's what it is. And also he goes to the point where if he were this thing, he could say this. If he were that thing, he could say that. Like, I was told by one woman, I do a rape joke. And she said, well, coming from a straight, white, married, cisgendered woman married to a man,
the resume.
it's it's hard to swallow that joke. If you were bisexual or gay, then maybe, and I'm like, but how does my resume or like my Tinder profile, if I were to have one, how does that give me license to say something, but another person, it disallows them from saying something? And I feel like his special really kind of illuminated that and put that on blast.
And he pinpointed a lot of those things, and he highlighted, that's the sign of a good stand-up show, when you start to reflect on your life and start thinking like it changes the audience in a way. Like, those people in that room, some of them are better, some of them are worse, whatever. He changed a lot of lives in that room. People were just like, damn, maybe I'm thinking of some people that do that are constantly working on themselves. Like, man, maybe I shouldn't act like that. Maybe I shouldn't. And then some people just oblivious and they just keep on like, no, he's wrong. But I feel like he changed a lot of lives by doing what he did on stage. Even people watching. Yeah. That's just a sign of a really good special.
Well, it goes to that, like, when he made that point about he's a black man, but like if he thought you were born Chinese.
Oh my God!
Honestly, Menuhin, when I was 2, I was like, oh my God, I feel seen, because when I was 2, I told my parents I was Chinese. I told you this before, that I thought that I had a Chinese mommy and daddy and a Chinese brother in a wheelchair, and my Chinese sister was dead. I believed it too. I'm a white girl. Like, I don't know where I had this, but the idea of the joke was so poignant for me. Like, the way that he delivered it. It's how I feel inside. Oh my God, the act out. Just so fucking delicious.
How I feel
inside. And what he did with his voice.
Yo, I'm gonna say this. My girlfriend died laughing at that.
Yeah.
And she's Korean. And I swear to God, her face turned red. Like, she fell off the couch laughing because I stopped to see because I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
So around the second time is when I watched it with her, and I kind of looked over to see what she would do with that. Yeah. And when I tell you she died laughing, it's like, see, this fucking joke is funny.
Yeah. So here I think like my biggest thought, especially after the trans bit and throughout the special, and then hitting that trans bit, and when he talks about a trans person, saying something to him after a show, the idea that if we handle people with kid gloves and we don't talk about them, we are isolating them and telling them that they're different. Mm-hmm. But if we're making fun of them, it's because we're paying attention and we're acknowledging existence and and giving like you're regular just like me. Mm-hmm. We're all flawed. We're pointing out flaws. Everything's silly. Yeah. Everything's absurd. So if you didn't make the joke about that, then it would have been, I feel, a disservice. And maybe I'm wrong, and I can be chastised for that. But look, you talk about everything, and so if you have to leave something out because people can't handle it, you're saying that they're not strong enough to handle something, and that's fucked up at its core.
Damn. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm spitting truth.
But nobody. I'm gonna put a horn like. He's spitting truth in this motherfucker. But nah, that's. But the thing is, they wouldn't see it like that. They would see
Who's
it as.
Who's they though?
Huh?
It's
no. They is
a couple of
just.
What?
I'm saying they
whomever.
are those. I mean, whoever. I mean,
whomever.
Whomever is being made fun of. Whoever feels offended by whatever. I mean, blacks, whites, Asians, transgender, lesbians, gays, whoever. It's just like if people are not making fun. What you're saying is if people are not making fun of you or of that gender, you're just showing that you can't handle it and you're saying that you're not strong enough, which everyone is talking about. Oh yeah, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a strong black man, I'm a strong white this, I'm strong this. And if nobody's making fun of you, it's like, oh yeah, but they can't handle it. So it's like it kind of says in a way that you're weak in a way.
Yeah, and that's why he probably named. I mean, I don't know Dave Chappelle's mind, but the reason that he used sticks and stones is when we're a kid, words are never gonna hurt me, right? And are you able to handle the fact that I'm gonna use my words? I'm gonna slap you in the face with the words, but I actually haven't. We're allowing these words to. Oh, I'm crushed. Oh, I'm
Everyone
triggered.
Wants to be offended
I need
so
to. Well,
bad.
then go to therapy. Then handle it. Then get like. I had a woman say, I wish I could. If I didn't feel this certain way about your joke, then maybe I'd be screaming too. And I go, maybe you need to be screaming too. So scream. So say something instead of being this victim. Instead of being this crushed, shattered, crumbled, the victim train is real heavy nowadays. Jump the fuck off.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. People don't walk up to a comedian telling them your opinion about a joke, because we don't give a fuck. We really don't. You come be like, well, I thought your joke. When you say that, please believe I have stopped listening. And if I turn around and walk away, you'll know why. He's so rude. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. That's just me. That's like me walking into your house and you be like, yeah, the way you raising your kid, I feel like, why would I have an opinion on that? That
but
kid.
Everybody does.
Everyone does, but don't. I've seen certain comics. People come up to me like, hey, that joke about, get the fuck out of my face. Just leave.
Yeah.
Get out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. Just say you appreciate it. If you don't like it, don't say shit to me.
I've had a woman say, I think you're so funny, but I do believe that.
The butt.
And I like that, and I like these jokes, but I do think, the butt. Don't give me a butt, bitch.
Oh my God.
But
I like you, but
right.
Leave. Check, please. Check. Can I get my check?
Yeah. She says to me, But I do think that these younger women that really want you to be a great voice, they're rooting for you. They do feel like you attack them and that you're not on their side. So in some way, maybe you should tell them that you're on their side. And I'm like, and so I have to pander to these bitches to get them to like me? I don't care. I'm telling them that they need to buck up and be better and be stronger. Like, get over it.
Nah, see, this is where we get our fan base. Either you like me or you don't like me. You see, that's why when I watch specials like, who is it? Because I know a lot of specials they do crowdsourcing, they bring people in, but then there's some specials where people actually who are fans of you come and show up, and those specials are the best because those people, like for Patrice O'Neal when he did the DC joint, Elephant in the Room. Mm-hmm. Those are his people. No, Mr. P.
I disagree with you.
Mr. P wasn't his people?
No, I'm saying I disagree when when your people, only your people are in the room. I think when everyone is there and you didn't craft this audience and it's just and you have to make this group of people laugh, people from all walks of life, and there's that big pop and everybody's like coming from different I think that's stronger.
But I feel like we deal with the away game audience every fucking night.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's refreshing when people.
It is refreshing.
When people came to see you, and these are all you people have your mindset. So it's like you can just kind of maneuver and not worry about shit. You just say what the fuck you want to say. Because I don't know. I'm just saying that because we, like I said, we deal with audiences that don't know who the fuck we are. And we have to kind of prove ourselves in a way to be like, look, this is why I'm funny, and then continue to drill them. Like
but then that goes to the talking point that a lot of comics, once they've created and crafted that audience, that following, those fans, that they may not have to try as hard because people are, you've seen famous people. Famous people get laughs.
That's only for the special,
right? but like. There's something to be said for the struggle to try to, I guess, prove yourself to be funny. Not necessarily get people to like you, but that struggle, that fight is what's going to make you say the things that, if you have nothing to lose, you're going to say whatever the hell you want. And what I'm saying about his special is that regardless of the amount of people that are his fans, that like him, that he probably knows what they like, he went further.
Oh yeah.
Because he had the balls to.
Oh yeah.
But he could have phoned it in. He could have made it easy and palatable. I mean, he could, right? Like he knows what people like.
He could have just played into wherever they wanted.
But he didn't.
But the thing is, also, comedy is forever gonna be the
third voice.
No, not the better voice. What I'm trying to say, it's comedy is always honest. You have to be. And you got to be honest, and also you gotta be funny. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Eddie Murphy. He has all of us waiting to hear what he has to say now. We're all fans of Murphy, but Murphy still gotta bring it. So no matter if they love you or they don't, you still gotta go up there. You got like, all right, well, you're the celebrity, cool, Eddie Murphy, yeah.
Prove it.
Let's go. Yeah. What is it? It doesn't matter.
There's more pressure there.
Yeah, it's still always going to be that pressure. Even if I'm standing in front of people that are fans of me, I still they're like, oh yeah, it's Menuhin. He was on this.
I hate those
he
shows.
Was that. And it's just like, all right, what you got?
Yeah.
Audiences are always, even if they're fans of you, they're still like, what you doing, man? What the fuck? What's that?
What I like is when people when you get on stage and people don't expect it, and then they come off that tone. That tone, be like, "You were really funny." Like when, I'm really surprised. Like you catch them off guard, and they didn't expect. Like, this bitch is gonna be blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, their face like
Right, but then you do and you deliver.
And you bow.
And they're like, "Oh, holy shit! Aren't I pleased?" Like, well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Somebody said this. Oh man, you were actually fun. I was like, yeah, I do this.
Yeah.
I know. I did a college. It was like a college show thing, and I was up there, and then someone's like, oh man, you were like really funny. I was surprised. You know, I said, why are you surprised, man? I do this. And it wasn't in an arrogant way. It was like, this is what I fucking do. I'm crafting this shit all day. I'm in the city dealing with shit. You thought I was gonna come here and do. I'm not doing blockbuster films and shit yet, but but it's like I fucking do this. You thought I was gonna come here like so not
our first movie. I will be falling down a hill.
You in this hill fall?
I do. I just want to do head first falls into everything.
If I create a movie, I'm definitely just have you fall down hills.
Fall in every scene.
So where did they go? They went,
Comedy has become so cerebral. It's become and we've got because everything has to be so serious and everything has to be so, and it does. There's a place and a time and it's justified that it needs to be there. But that stupid slapstick goofy shit has a place too, and Chappelle did that too, right? Like he was. See, the thing is, it had a lot of elements. He was goofy, which that's what comedy is. I mean, I was goofy as shit in school. It's goofy, but then also it has a point. So you kind of have to talk about something. You hit certain nerves. You got your spices.
You got to throw some paprika, a little pepper on it. Then you hit them with some hot sauce. Maybe some sriracha. I don't know what the stew is that we're making, but it's a lot of seasons. But it's like
it's a gumbo.
It's a gumbo. Yeah, that's what it is. You just he hits you from all different angles. It's just like, and it may take you one more time watching it to really pull all of that. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is funny. This is cool. And I watched it again. I was like, oh shit. Damn, I didn't see that one. Then I watched it the third time. I was like, God damn, this is good. Mm-hmm. So it may take people a few times to watch it to really get into it. I mean, I'm a comedy junkie, so I'll watch it. I can't watch it another time because if I do, I feel like
you might take some pieces.
It might come with me.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, 3 times is enough. If I watch it a fourth, I might be like, yeah, I can do a bit like that.
I'm gonna start slapping the mic on.
Oh my god! No, I refuse to do that. I don't know. I refuse to slap a mic on my knee or my thigh to be like, pop, that was funny. No.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I mean, for some, some people off top were like, yo, this is the greatest special ever. Like Derek Gaines, he was like, he's the greatest of all time. But then some people were just kind of like, all right.
I think we also have to discuss the body of work. And I always go and I kind of refer to the one comic, right? So because Carlin's one of my favorite, obviously, of all time.
Carlin's dope, yeah.
But if you watch his work in the beginning, like in the 70s, how he was kind of scripted, he was doing a certain thing, and then 10 years later, 15, 20 years later, he would go on these rants about things, and this would be 20 minutes on one thing, and then at the end of his life, his comedy became different. It became commentary, and it was slower. And it wasn't, and it didn't necessarily punch you every single second. But whatever he had been discussing, I guess 20 years prior, whittled down to a one-liner. And that's what it is. It's the evolution of a joke.
Damn, that's a good point. That may be what it is. That may be why, for me, it took me a few times to really pull it in, because I'm so used, because I've watched Dave Chappelle since Killing Me Softly and before that.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I watched Dave Chappelle when he was on Def Jam for the first time. And that Crazy. Dave Chappelle is way different from Dave Chappelle now. So it's like over time, comedians change. Just like rappers. You listen to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt to Jay-Z Drunk in Love with Beyonce. You gotta either change with them, or you just gotta be like, I like old Jay-Z, or I like old so-and-so. I can't really fuck with whatever this is. Like some people just like Def Jam Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, hey, this was when he had that voice. His voice was really high pitched like that. But then some people like Killing Me Softly Dave Chappelle, and they're like, I like this and Chappelle Show. But then the new shit, some people ain't fucking with him. Like I've heard somebody say, I think he's fucking up his legacy by dropping these Netflix specials. I don't know. It's like some people weren't feeling it, but it's like you have to sit and analyze.
This is a career in his life, and this is what he's lived his life doing, and what we hope. I'm never leaving. Maybe I'll be 80 and still be like, hopefully somebody puts me on a show.
Oh, to my comedy?
Right. But like this is his world.
I feel like we'll turn into some type of novelty act.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna start juggling.
I mean that's what happens. That's what happens to us. I mean, usually comedians we go hard in the paint at this era. Clubs. Then we end up doing Pixar films or some shit. End up writing for movies and TV shows.
Oh my god, I just want to be a Dory.
I'm just saying, that's what happens. We become voiceover artists or some shit. Or what happens is that like the people that stick with it, they end up in Vegas, and then we just end up that act. Oh, come see so and so, and you perform it with Cher. Some shit.
But you said it earlier about Eddie Murphy. Like he's had his world, but then he wants to come back. So sometimes you want to come back.
Let me ask you: do you feel like he should come back?
If he wants to, I don't think he needs to buy a club.
No, I'm saying no. Do you think that there's a place for him?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, I think there's a place for everybody.
No, fuck that.
No, if they want to work that, if he wants to work that hard, if this is what he wants to do, just like Ellen came back. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about her special necessarily, but here's what it is. The bug is to do it, and whatever you want to say. And like Tracy Morgan told me one time, you take your time, you take the life that you were given and the life that you have, and whatever you see in that life, you put that on stage and you take your time. I'm not going to do my Tracy Morgan impression.
What? That was from Reading Rainbow. What the fuck?
He said, but you take your time.
That was on Reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton said that shit. Get the fuck out of here, Tracy. What you got to do is you got to make sure to take the life that you was given.
Take
the fuck out of here. No, I'm playing. I don't know. Being all philosophical. That was LeVar Burton. Episode 19.
Sesame Street. The letter T.
Hold up. Did Big Bird say some shit like that?
87. I'm getting all my references crossed. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, he should come back. Yeah. Prove it. But it's not about what my expectations are.
I think it also goes back to what I said about people like Chappelle from Def Jam to now. You gotta be able to, if you're a fan of this person, you gotta grow with them. And I feel like at first when I heard about that, and I heard him on Comedians in Cars with Coffee with Seinfeld and shit, I was like, nah, man, don't. You gonna the legacy, man? Why would you? You went out on top. You went out in a puff of purple smoke, and you did movies and shit, and you done. Go. But it's like,
oh come on. You think it's never enough.
But then I thought it for a while. I was like, because I heard people talking, hey, well, I'm gonna come back. And I was just like, you know what? If I was him, I would want to come back, because the thing is to think about all the comedy that he watches. Like I hear that he's like, when people are like filming big specials, sometimes he just shows up backstage and just be hanging out. Kevin Hart just be hanging out with just cats just talking to him, just joking around, just to be around it. So it's like he wants to be in it.
If you think people know that he even comes into the room or he's backstage, because if you do, that like if there's that one comic that you respect so much and they come in the room when you're on stage, you're like, it wicks the funny out of the room and it gives you to, you're like, I can't. How can I be funny in front of that person? I
don't think he does that. I think like maybe backstage he'll show up or whatever, and he'll leave, or he'll
hide.
He has to.
He'll have a mask on.
Straight up, if I was doing Caroline's or wherever the fuck I'm doing shows at,
and he just pops
in, and I'm talking, and Eddie Murphy's right there. Do you understand the level of? I would just turn into a ghoul. Is that Eddie Murphy? I'd be in the middle of a bit. I'm like, yeah, so my mom. Oh my God, is that Eddie Murphy? Yeah. What the fuck?
And then the whole thing becomes.
And it's just, what the fuck are you doing here?
Why did you do this to me?
I get the light. Fuck the light, yo. You came to see.
You come up here. Come up here, because I can't do it.
Yo, finish finish my bit.
Yeah.
Here, I
do it better.
On my notebook. Here, take it. Keep it. There you go, Eddie. Thank you.
Thank you for living.
I would, man. Yeah. I could not. Man, my God. If Eddie Murphy, Bill Burr, fucking anybody, I really. If Chappelle would do some shit like that. Mm-hmm. Chappelle's a cool dude. I've met that dude a few times. He's a really cool guy, man. It's just he's amazingly cool. Did you go to that Chappelle party?
No, because I wasn't invited.
I wasn't either.
They just show up.
Because the thing is crazy. This is what happened. I was doing the knit factory, and I talked to Petey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Baby's bad. Coming in.
Oh, okay.
Piper Berg is here, everybody. Aaron Berg's here in the building.
Yeah.
We're kissing kids. Really excited here. My kid's here trying to make out with me. It's nice. Good times. Yeah. She has stuff to say. What do you think about the Chappelle special, Pipes?
No.
R.
R.
Yeah, rated R.
Rated R. See? Yep. Yeah, she's right in saying that.
Just so you know, I'm making Red Lobster biscuits.
Yeah. Life has started again. We were alone for a while. And now we're here.
She's making Red Lobster biscuits.
We're doing...
Can I say a thing?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. Go ahead. Aaron Burke, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? I just posted on Facebook. I go, anybody who's hating on Chappelle's special.
Yeah.
What?
You're too close to the mic.
Am I too close to the mic?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. Yeah, well, I'm talking. I said, anybody who hates on Chappelle's special, try and watch them do an hour. Oof. And then there's one guy in Canada responded. He's like, I don't agree with all this, and I think Chappelle... And then I watched a clip of his shit, and I was like, I was right. That's it.
Your shit stinks.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
It's like, what do you...
They're just so bad. Yeah. Yeah.
They
you get an opinion.
But see, people think they can do what we do off top. You can't.
No.
It takes work. You just can't go up there and like, yeah, I can do jokes. That's the weirdest thing about comedy. People sit in the audience and look at you like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Do you understand how long it took me to get to this point?
Yep.
So I don't know. People.
Well, my kid's doing letters because she knows Chappelle talks about the letter people. Alphabet people or letter people?
I think it's alphabet people. Yeah.
I don't know.
It was alphabet people.
She was just doing P. I think that's got to stand for something.
Parkinson's people.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you want to drop on this? I think this is going to be the episode.
I don't know when you're going to put it out, but people just follow me on Instagram, Funny X-Teen, and Funny Christine on Twitter. Yeah. Piper doesn't have an Instagram. Sorry.
She doesn't. Okay.
No. Aaron Berg Comedy.
Aaron Berg Comedy on Instagram and on everything else, right?
On everything.
Twitter. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the episode, guys. If you didn't like it, hey, take it up with HR.
We're gonna eat some biscuits.
I'm gonna eat some biscuits right now. I'm out. Bye.
First things first. I Papa freaks all the honeys. No. Really. I actually, man, so you saw that I posted on Facebook, or maybe you didn't see, because Facebook is retarded. Well, what am I not supposed to say? Retarded, right? Whatever. Facebook is ridiculous. I posted that I don't have thoughts on other comics' work, right? My friends, if I'm with you and you gigging, or you come to me and you're like, yo, what you think about this? What you think about this joke? Like I do with you sometimes. What you think about this bit, man? It's because I trust your comedic expertise. I trust your taste. I trust your skill. I trust you as my friend. I trust your honesty. So that's the only time I'm looking for kind of, critiques or thoughts on anything. And if you do the same to me, cool, that's it. I don't go, what critique am I going to have on Dave Chappelle? How am I never being at his level, having done what he's done, achieved what he's achieved, performed, and been in the industry the way he has, seen the things he has, traveled where he has, had those experiences or similar ones over my course of time? What critique do I have? Where do I get off critiquing? Critiques, I think they go, well, what, I'm a fan, I should be able to have an opinion on it. Yeah, cool, man. Have an opinion. You know what I mean? Have an opinion. People have opinions on your shit, right? Have an opinion. But have that opinion and try to realize where your opinion is coming from and what you've done in order to warrant your opinion having any validity or your critique having any validity in what Chappelle has done or someone like him has done. It's like the same thing with your Kevin Hart. When motherfuckers really talking shit, you have something to say and you've done nothing close to that. And it's not even one of these things of like, you know, not stand-up comics. I'm not even talking about like people who are just like, you know, the fucking guy that works at fucking Best Buy or whatever, and he's just like, man, I didn't really like that shit. Cool, bro, you didn't really like it. You know what? Go ahead, man. Go ahead and check me out, bro. You know, I'm just trying to get my Snickers and this PlayStation, man. I don't really, you know, I'm glad you tell me about it, but do your thing, because they're the fan. They're who is gonna make it worth anything. They're the ones who are gonna make it like, you know, it's bigger than what it is. You know what I mean? Or make it grow, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. And so I don't have any, excuse me, I don't have any critiques myself. Like I said, coming from where I'm from, I've not done a quarter of the things he's done. I've traveled. I've been to a lot of countries. You know, I was a pimp / hoe. I used drugs. I sold drugs. I fucking did a bunch of crazy shit. You know, they tried to cancel me. These fucking fake feminists tried to cancel me over some bullshit because they don't know money over bitches. I don't know what to tell them. Don't listen to rap and then don't get mad when rap happened to you. What the fuck? But yeah, man, so I've gone through some stuff and I feel like I've got a lot of good material and I feel like I've performed a lot, but I haven't done what he's done. So for me to have a critique, or an opinion on his special other than I liked it, I didn't like it, is unnecessary. Now, for me personally, I love that motherfucking shit. I loved it. It's right in line with what I like in comedy. It's right in line with what I like in art, with what I kind of want to achieve as well. You know me. I love the absurdity. I love existential nihilism. I love making sure everyone, you know, these philosophies that I follow. I love having the ability to tell these truths, my truths, society's truths, whatever, and they're uncomfortable truths, but they are truths. So you may laugh, you may not laugh, but you're mostly upset because not that I'm right, but that what I'm saying is right. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Kind of like Patrice. Like, I don't think I'm anywhere near Patrice or have any really Patrice in me. But what I'm saying is he did the same thing. He did that exact same thing where he made you look at uncomfortable truths. And it might have been his opinions and it might have been his feelings. And a lot of it was fact, but he made you take a hard look at it and you go, fuck, he's right. And that's where the laugh comes from. And that's also where you being upset comes from. But for me, it's like, you're upset, but what are you going to do about it? Not like, what you going to do, bitch, but what are you going to actually do about it? Like, are you just going to keep letting it happen? Motherfuckers mad at the whole fucking, whatever, what was the bit Chappelle did? They got real mad at the women's abortion. They got mad at it. But he was right. He said, what are you going to do, ladies? I told you what would happen, right? And what he said happened. Things got worse, and they got real bad. And so it's like, but you didn't listen, right? And now it's an uncomfortable truth. And that's why they cheered. Some of them cheered and clapped and stuff during that. And it's an uncomfortable truth because he warned you. But don't get mad at him. What are you mad at him for? You're mad at yourself. Don't get mad at Trump. He's in there because you let him in there, right?
All right. My name is Love Agarwal, a.k.a. Brooklyn Santa. You can find me on social media at Brooklyn_Santa. You asked me to watch the new Dave Chappelle special, Sticks and Stones, and I did so. First off, up top, I do photography in the comedy community. I don't perform stand-up, so my opinion is that of a civilian. So I will tell you how I see what I saw. It was a great special. I watched it 3 times. It was entertaining all the way through, captivating. He kept my attention the whole way because I was just wanting to know what was going on. One thing I thought was funny is that I didn't really laugh out loud the first time I watched it because I was watching and I was just seeing how he was constructing these bits and the way he was just putting things together. I was like, oh wow, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny, is what I kept saying. I have I come from like a legal background, so everything's about argument crafting and everything, and logic chains, and so that's why watching long form stand-up comedy it's nice to see how the whole set is crafted in terms of like making certain arguments. And so Dave made a few arguments on this one. He talked about the I guess the LGBT stuff, the alphabet people. He did school shootings. He did a lot of stuff. He talked about cancel culture mostly. But, it was great. He got into them. He did them in a way that no one else really could. Because, what Dave does is he plays the contrarian, and he'll say, like, an unpopular opinion. Kind of like he'll say an opinion and he'll be like, but... And leave it at that without having to tie it up. Or it's like, but like Michael Jackson stuff, he's like, you know what I mean? And so there's that whole thing. But the way he's able to like get around that is, so he'll make that opinion and then he'll always come back and contextualize it back to like being a black dude or being part of like a minority, being a minority in America. He'll always contextualize it back to that point. And so by the time you get all upset about him saying something, he will make that comparison back, and then you'll realize that you were upset about something completely extraneous. So that's kind of like, that's why, Dave's unparalleled. Now, I guess, so I've been seeing a lot of like articles and a lot of stuff online that's been trying to cancel Dave because of this special. And it's just weird because, I've been trying to just think about it. That's why I watched the special again, and I'm just trying to understand what the issue is so much. And so here, I guess at this part, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. But like, so I guess, you could see him, like the ideas in the special weren't new. Right, have all black people register for guns. That literally happened. The Black Panther Party and Ronald Reagan did the thing that did gun control. There's a precedent for that. The whole the concept of the alphabet people that's been around. The whole what do you call it? The riding in the car and the G's are drivers. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. And just like the relationship between each letter, that was great. But just like I guess people would be outraged because he's a straight man talking about this stuff. And even now when I'm recording this, I don't really know what I can say or what I should say because I don't know enough about it. But I just know that like the bit was well done. I don't know enough about LGBT issues to know like if he was being insensitive or not. But the bit with the car, it was absolutely brilliant, and then the personifying every letter. Or maybe it's not brilliant. Maybe it's insensitive. I who's to say? But it's not my position to say. So I'm gonna move on. The school shooter stuff, absolutely brilliant. The opioid epidemics. Even that is not a new idea. Is that the opioid whites look like the crack epidemic because that's around in a lot of literature and news and stuff for the last couple of years because people will compare the way that politicians are dealing with the opioid epidemic and like how the media is framing that particular narrative, and then the people have like been bringing up clips from, media framing the narrative around the crack epidemic, and the using the whole thing of personal accountability, personal responsibility, that myth that likes to get thrown around and then forgotten. But that's not, anyways, I'm rambling. That's not a new idea, but what Dave did with it was absolutely unique and new and incredible, and with just that I can't do it justice, but yeah, that was an incredible bit. I want to go back and rewatch it again, just because it was very fresh. That was a very fresh perspective. Now, I guess the last thing I guess I should talk about is, I've been thinking about this, is why would Dave release a special, right? He released was it 4 already on Netflix before, or was it just the 2? I think it was, here, I'm going to say he released 4, and then I'm going to say he released 2, and I guess you can just cut this out. So he released 4 on Netflix already. He released 2 on Netflix already, and I'm just wondering why, what is the significance of this timing? Is there anything? And I've been racking my head around it, and up top, he gets in, when he does the impressions, he gets in on the cancel culture stuff. And what I'm thinking Dave did was he must have been doing this, he must have dropped this special for comics, because he must be, Dave spends all his time around comedians or his family, is what I'm assuming. Comedians, musicians, and his family. But I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he hangs out with doctors. But he's around comedians all the time, and I'm sure he sees how their speech is constrained, and it's by offense that shouldn't really be offense, but maybe it should. Who knows? Everything's about having a lively discussion, but also, he was contextualizing to the point of look, you clicked on my face. This is just a forum to talk about these ideas, but it's really not to talk about these ideas. It's for me to say these ideas and you to think about it later. And that's, so I think he reset the stage for comedians to actually be offensive now, and to actually segment out, fan bases. Not everybody has to like a certain person or certain personality and what he or she has to say, but those people are allowed to say whatever they want to say, and so Dave as a comedian can say what he wants to say, and so can anyone else. And I think what Dave really did well with the special was shine a spotlight on how, if you're going to criticize a comedian's special, it should really your criticism should really have teeth. It should really be grounded in a legitimate grievance, instead of, why is it offensive? But that's up there for you to make the argument, and I don't see the offense. I thought the bits were brilliantly crafted. I don't think he compromised the come up for any minority or repressed groups that he was making the jokes about over the course of the joke, but I could be wrong, because I don't think I wasn't part of any of those groups mentioned in this whole in the whole special, so I don't know. Anyways, I hope that's enough. I'm gonna stop recording.
So yeah, I don't have opinions. I don't have critiques like that. I mean, I thought it was amazing. That's my opinion on it. I don't have any critiques, because I spend, like I said on my Facebook thing, I spend my time, the time it would take for me to critique, writing my own things. I'm not gonna write a fucking think piece on his material and what he's doing and blah. I'm not doing all that. think about it to myself, continue to write my own material. And that's why I have 2 things on Amazon. That's why I'm getting more hours. That's why I'm doing stuff with Netflix coming. That's why I'm doing stuff with other networks and other things, because I'm spending my time actually working on what it is I want to do, as opposed to sitting fucking on Facebook all goddamn day, or on my blog, or on whatever else. And I'm writing a think piece on comedy, and I'm a comic, really, on this other comics material. That's why your material is the way it is. That's what I want to say. I don't have, you know what I have a critique on and an opinion on? Fucking comics who do shit like that. You complain and you bitch and you moan and you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I ain't like this part, and I would have done it this way. You would have done it that way? You still perform at fucking bar shows. What the fuck are you talking about? You're never going to get to do it that way. And that's maybe where the angst is coming in, because a lot of these people realize what it takes to get to that level, what it takes to do that, and the hard work and the dedication, and they're not willing to put that in. Or it's too late in their minds for them to put that in, or it's too hard, you know what I mean? So they're just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just try to drag everybody else down. That's how I feel, because what else are you doing? If you was writing jokes and performing and practicing and doing as much as you can, you would get to that level. That's how people get to that level. You get seen, you get noticed, or you build your own empire like the Wayans or whatever. That's what happens. There's only 3 ways to do it. You get seen, you build your own empire, or the people come in and go, yo, this guy's the guy. Right? I don't know. So comics that do shit like that, that's my critique, is that when someone does something great, someone does something good to help us all, to help what we do in our profession, some of them tear them down or try to. Motherfuckers complaining, oh, if a black woman said this shit, or if a woman said this shit, it'll be an issue. Lisa Lampanelli, my nigga? Are you joking? So none of y'all bitches got no problem with Lisa Lampanelli? Should I go down the list? Should go down the list of fucking nobody got no problems when fucking Nick DiPaolo say shit? What happened to that? This nigga whole album cover was making fun of Black Lives Matter and all kinds of shit. Nobody said shit. And I fucking love Nick DiPaolo, but I knew that's Nick DiPaolo. That's what happens. Nobody got nothing to say about that. I've been watching Lisa Lampanelli say shit about black dick and Kool-Aid and all type of shit for years, and not one of you fucking feminists, none of you motherfuckers has shit to say about her at all. So what the fuck are you talking about? And if you watch some of these comics, male or female, they are saying things just as bad, or edgy, or whatever, as Chappelle. The problem is he's saying it with conviction, and when he's saying it with conviction, he's actually right. And what he's saying ends up being hilarious, over the top, and you can't disagree with it. You're upset because you can't pick it apart, or you're upset because you can't write that level, but you want to say those things, right? Anybody can write a Lisa Lampanelli fucking I fuck black guys credit score fucking joke, right? That's just fucking racist. I don't mind her. I don't give a fuck about her. She's cool. She do her thing, whatever. She don't bother me. I'm just saying, you on one foot you're saying one thing, on the other foot you're saying another thing, and then, or one hand or whatever. And then the other thing is with we asked for this. For how long now comedy, quote unquote, has been under attack, right? It's mostly the comedian's fault. You want to write a think piece about another comic. You want to fucking critique some other comic's work publicly, who's, not on your level. You want to bring this person down, not just having an opinion. Oh, I didn't like it. That's cool. Keep moving. Some comics don't like other comics' material, just like anybody else. That's fine, right? That's the James Davis situation. He just didn't like it. End of story. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But the critiquing of the whole shit, and writing the pieces, and the trying to get it removed, and joining in with the people trying to cancel it. You don't understand, as a comedian, you're working against comedy. Like, heavily you're working against comedy. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people are using that to build themselves up. They want to get the likes and the notoriety for being, oh, I was anti this when it happened, and I'm getting a bunch of likes and comments and now new followers, so that your career can blossom. So your career needs to blossom off the back of somebody else's career failing. And that's what you think that's good, and you think you're going to have a positive career from then on out. You don't think you're going to have a target on your back now? And you think you're going to be good 40, 30, 40 years, 20 years, you think you're going to smooth sailing, right? You think, no, moral high ground. You don't think in 20 years the shit you're saying now, in 10 years the shit you're saying now is going to be fucking obsolete and rude, and somebody's going to come for you?
At this
really?
point, you really have to.
So that's how I put things in perspective. We asked for this motherfucker to be honest. We asked for some champion to come out and just really rip into quote-unquote cancel culture, PC culture, privileges and all these things like that. And a lot of comics have been doing it. We're not as known as Chappelle, but we've been doing it. And now we get somebody who's literally considered by most the greatest, the height, the biggest one right now to do that. And
I do this. Oh, that's cool.
motherfuckers want to attack him. Some of these same people I've seen, they want to attack him. That's crazy to me. That's how I feel about it. In short, this shit was dope.
Rap culture
End of story. I thought it was dope. I think he's a great writer. Obviously, he's brilliant. Man's smart as all fuck.
None of these comics are,
he does what he needs to do.
Well, there's probably some comics that came from like
everybody else can suck balls, really.
You know what I mean?
Who cares what you think? Who gives a fuck what you think? If you didn't like it, just don't like it and keep living. If you liked it, who gives a fuck? Just like it and keep moving.
All right, I watched.
You're not a thug anymore. You literally
Dave
stand on
Chappelle's
stage, try to
special,
make people
Sticks and
laugh.
Stones.
You try to bring them
And it was
joy
too good.
from laughter. That's the least hard.
It was too good. I only could watch it one time because I didn't. What happens is sometimes as a comedian, if you're not careful, you really admire someone's material. You end up sounding like
pimping and fucking. I tell jokes
record,
about
be on stage, do
using
crowd
drugs
work, and then jokes will come out, and you'll be like, "Where did that come from?"
Shot,
you won't even know.
Shit like
it was
that.
just, it was really
where it
good.
come from, but it's still trying to make people laugh at this painful shit. But I'm not.
I've never been one of those people that
being like,
believe
yeah,
that
hard
comics
still,
should be
like I'm not. Nigga, I live in London. What are you doing?
I think we need to be able to speak our minds, whether it's clean, dirty, whatever you want.
But
You should
I'm
be
not.
able. That's why we do what we
trying
do.
to bring that energy. I'm trying to bring laughing.
Me personally,
and a lot of these guys,
I don't.
It's all,
only thing I
a lot of
don't.
that bullshit too.
The only thing I don't like to see comics do is destroy people in the audience. And the reason why is they're not us.
Comedian gonna fight somebody. She's gonna do something.
Most comedians,
because somebody
we're
said
just
something
so
you didn't like this is soft, man.
battle hardened.
And it's bringing that. Everybody thinks they're supposed to get rewards.
From cracking jokes on each other. That not anything, you're just numb. Nothing affects you.
Everyone thinks they're going to make it.
But these people, like he's a plumber or a garbage man.
So what they want to do instead of putting
these people don't do that every day.
Bring somebody else down who
these people live regular lives. You see a comic go out there and talk about somebody, and their feelings are destroyed.
Well, look, now I'm famous.
And they be hurt. So that's the only thing I don't think as far as we should use our free speech, because it's a skill that we develop, and most people don't have
a lot of people appreciate it, and it probably spoke to and helped
the ability to take it, man. They
in ways you don't understand.
In any event, Dave Chappelle's special was so. It was a clinic.
I'm not even trying to put him on the
It's what we're supposed to be doing as comedians. We're supposed to be raising the bar, pushing the needle, whatever you want to say.
But there was black people trying to bring down Malcolm X.
We're supposed to be out there giving commentary
people trying to bring down Malcolm X. And he's
and
touching
talking
about
getting
people off
things
of
that
stuff
make
like
people
Dave
feel
Chappelle probably said a lot of
uncomfortable
stuff,
and
man, that helped a lot of
He
people.
said a line where he talked about him not being able to say faggot on Comedy Central.
And instead of you
Comedy
reaching that same level of
See,
platform,
I
and trying
can't
to do
say
the same thing,
faggot.
you're trying to
He
bring
was
him
like,
down,
why can't I say
cut
it?
him
He's
down
like,
so
well,
other people can't enjoy it.
You're
trying to control what other people enjoy. And somehow you're not fucking fashion. Like you're not.
If you were gay, you could say it. He said,
Trump's
wait,
bad
I
guy,
can say
right? All
nigga.
these other people are bad guys because they want to control what you do.
And he was like,
right, the Christian,
because I'm not a nigga either.
They want to control
so in a nutshell,
who can't get married because they don't agree with it.
I appreciate
you want to control
what Dave did, man.
what people can enjoy because it offends you. Well, it offends.
He gave
them Christian groups.
older comics something to really look at, younger
right,
comics something to
or
shoot
whatever
for,
validity you think it has,
and
they
a reminder to all of us that we
right.
need
And I'm
to
not
be
saying that they are right by any means. Obviously,
taking our art to the
right?
next
I
level.
don't
And
believe
that's
that
what he's
shit.
done. He's been
But what
doing
I am
stand-up
saying is
since
the
he
fact
was
that you're
15
going
years
about it
old.
the same way.
He's my
Well, I
age,
don't like
you
it.
know,
It's
he's
offended me,
in
and I
his
don't think it's good. So no one should
he's-
enjoy it. It's the
he's
same shit
just-
as
he's
what they're
getting
saying.
better.
It's
That's
the
one thing I
same
love
exact
about
thing.
stand-up. It's like
Except
playing
yours
golf.
is
You
according
play
to
golf
you
your whole life.
more
You play
tangible
golf till
and
you're
more
80 years old.
based in reality.
And that's what I love about stand-up.
That's your
You
reality.
do this your whole life, and you just keep getting better and better and better and better. So, shouts out to Dave Chappelle for what he did. I appreciated every second of what he did, man. He approached things that were uncomfortable really tactfully and intelligently. And there's some people that are offended, like the trans jokes, but look, man, everybody can get it. Everybody can get it. You should be able to laugh at yourself. You should be able to. And if you can't, it's not really, as long as it's not done maliciously, it's not the people, it's you. If you're hurt by something and you have the inability to process why you are who you are, then that'll affect you. Me, I know who I am, so there's not much people can say that's gonna, hurt me. And I've been doing comedy so long, I've heard everything you can think of in front of a room full of people. So if it's been said or thought about, I've heard it, it doesn't bother me. But if you can't if you can't allow yourself to be laughed at or told, if you take yourself too seriously, it's just no way to live. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I think he's got another one coming out. And I'm hoping Eddie was watching it. I know Eddie Murphy was watching it. They gave him $70 million, so I wonder what he's gonna do. He's gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to talk about his life. How much of his life he's gonna talk about, I don't know. He's gonna have to do something to trump that, but it's probably the best thing I've seen in years. So, my name's Dwayne Jackson. I've been doing stand-up now since 2006, and you can follow me on Facebook, comedian Dwayne Jackson, or just Dwayne Jackson. You can check me on Instagram at djackson44. I do a vlog, and I recently moved to New York, so you'll be able to catch me on the stages in New York. But shouts out to Phenom, aka Menuhin Hart. Phenom. Peace.
What I wanted to say is one last thing. It's not the people, it's not fans that are ruining comedy. It's not PC culture that's ruining comedy. It's comics. That's who it is. That shit's internal. And if you are a comic and you don't realize by now that shit's internal, you don't realize that when you go out and you talk shit about another comic, when you go out, especially publicly on social media, and you are, really having to go at another comic or trying to get a comic canceled and all this other stuff, you don't realize that you're showing the world that that's okay to do. And because you're doing it because you don't like what they're saying. You're not doing it because they've done something to you or some shit like that. You're doing it because you don't like their material or you don't like what they're saying. That shows the rest of the world that's cool to do, and they're gonna try to do that. They're gonna be like, you know what, I can do that too. I can hate on this person or try to get this person done, and it's okay because that's what they do to each other. So, it's a weird thing, man. It's like, was it comic on comic violence? Something like that. You always ask me these goddamn questions, and then they just piss me off, and I come back with just like more shit because it's unnecessary, man. It's unnecessary shit. There's no reason for you as a comedian, especially as a comic, especially to come and have issue with anything Chappelle is saying, because I guarantee, I don't care if you're the cleanest motherfucking comic ever, somebody's gonna have an issue with what you're saying. Guy was like, I'm a Christian comic. Who's gonna have an issue with what I'm saying? I don't know, a couple billion Muslims? Like, are you joking? Like, everyone's gonna have an issue with what you're saying because of what you do. You know what I mean? Somebody's looking for it because we've allowed that to be a thing. It didn't used to be like that. It had none of that stuff. People used to be able to just tell their jokes, move on. You didn't like it, you weren't at the club. Or you go to the comedy club, you expect to hear some wild shit, some tame shit, It got to the point where we had media and digital media and things, and it was like, you could look up this person before you go. So if you go to someone's show at this point, unless it's a really unknown show, that's on you. That's on you. I feel like it's the person's responsibility. Like me, like I said, I got 2 things on fucking Amazon. I got shit on YouTube. I got a website. I got social media. I don't really do social media that much, but if you go to one of my things and then you come and you go, oh, I didn't like what you said. I was offended. I'm like, you didn't. So you knew I was performing. You saw my name on the thing. You saw I was headlining, because that's what your boy does. And you went, you know what? I like his face. His face looks entertaining. I'll go then. You didn't think, let me just check this guy out because I got some stuff that bothers me, and I've heard or I've been to comedy shows before, and it's happened. Somebody said something that upset me. So I want to make sure that this guy isn't going to do that. You thought, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway and take the risk. Well, you took the risk, and that's on you. And the thing with comics is if you don't find it funny, it's okay to just continue to live your life. It's really okay that if you don't like something, you don't have to tell people. You don't have to give a critique. You don't have to give your opinion on whether it's good or bad. You can just watch it and tell your friends in person, or ask your friend, your good friend if you saw it and whatever. Stop trying to get clout, as they call it now, or fucking notoriety, or some kind of short-lived fame off of the back of somebody else based on your opinion on somebody else's work, because you hate when people do that to you. Like, I don't think a lot of these guys realize if they ever try to put something out, or when they put something out, that's going to happen to them. And it's not like a karma thing, but it's like we're spreading that that ability to do so. This is what we do. When a comic puts something out, everybody goes and gives their opinions on it. And what is it? And how was it? And was it good? Or was it bad? Was it shit? Was it whatever? That's what we do. That's what we do as comedians. And so we just, again, like I said, we're destroying it from the inside. We're creating that world. We're creating that weird. This is now a part of comedy where somebody big puts something out or whatever, and we just try to give all your opinions on it and whatever. Just watch it, man. Don't give a review. Watch it and then go write. That's it. And have to do, like, you know what I like? I didn't see you put up a damn thing, Menuhin. I just saw you said it was coming out, and then you put up something, a clip from it, and I was like, you didn't really say I love it. Oh, you just put something up. You was like, appreciative. That's it. And then people got to give paragraph opinions on some shit that don't got nothing to do with them. I didn't like it. I was really cringing the whole time. I thought, wow, like I watched him since I was young. And who gives a fuck? I watched you at work, motherfucker. You suck. You suck at your job. Whatever you do, I guarantee you've been written up before. You own your own company, I guarantee your sales have been down before. People have complained about you because you're trash, okay? That's what it is. It has nothing to do. Fuck, that's what it is. You're whack. Imagine that. Imagine he goes to work and does his thing and doesn't please everybody every time. No way you please everyone every time because you've had different jobs. You've been fired. You've quit. You've quit because people don't like you. Whatever it is. You quit because you don't like the job. Really, it's probably because you're doing a bad job. That's what it is. So, try to take that into consideration when you're critiquing something, when you don't like something, or you think somebody isn't good at something. You've not been good at everything every single day, especially your damn job.